Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of Spotlight. It's been a minute, at least for me. It's been pretty consistent, though, over break on those uploads. I think we missed 1 week, but we got fan favorite Alex Brown. I think the only requested guest I've had so far.
For real?
I think that's only just because our friends are like, I want to hear more of Alex. So
Yes.
the automatic solution is
That's
just
awesome.
give Alex his own episode. I'm
like
feeling a
that.
little short on this camera.
Yeah, I
but-
know. I'd take up the full screen if it would ever. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Alex Brown. He was my man in the chair in the first couple episodes. He's been in others since then, but a majority of them we just had scheduling conflicts. And like
Yeah.
I was saying before, we couldn't figure out the electronics here. I was saying that I think it's due to my laziness, or not my laziness, my impatience to get you on here, because I could easily work you into this. But I'm always just like, I find one date and then like I just do it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I hope you're involved more.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
You
much
know,
this semester. I'm on a 17 credit load, and I've got
oh, yikes.
It's
Well, then I guess we just have to get you on an episode
Yeah.
a ton. You're just be
Yeah.
as common
I'm
as
expecting
Nakota
at
Newman.
least 5 parts.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Also, I got to start the timer. Well, yeah, only because I actually have things that I need to do after this. But yeah, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, talk about some of the clubs that you're a part of, some of the things that you do.
My name is Alex Brown. I'm a junior here in computer engineering. I'm involved in the student union board. I'm an exec member with. I'm co-director of performing arts, so we put on Grandma Mojo's open mic night, sub comedy nights, which some coming up, sub.iastate.edu. And I've known Elijah for a pretty long time, like since you moved to
14
town.
years,
Yeah, around
yeah.
there. He was on my YouTube channel first because
Oh, yeah,
well,
yeah.
maybe his dad's first, but yeah. And so I'm a semi-frequent Moore Brothers actor, and yeah.
Yeah. Again, another mention of the Moore Brothers on the podcast without ever explaining what it is, and I refuse to. But so I think, well, also most importantly, the guy who wears the meat sweatshirt.
I am the guy who wears the meat sweatshirt
I
around
think-
campus. I am not wearing it right now because I didn't know that I was supposed to wear it.
I think it's funnier though if without a picture of you wearing the sweatshirt on the thumbnail, I put meat sweatshirt guy.
Meat sweatshirt guy?
You just look like a psychopath. But I want to talk about sub a little bit and what that is and what that acronym is and what you have done and maybe some of the stories that you've been involved with, because you've met some pretty cool people and have video proof of or picture proof of being with said people. So what do you do for sub and what is that?
So the Student Union Board, SUB for short, is a performing arts and events group here on campus. And we just put on like basically fun events for people to come to. Most of the time they're totally free with the exception of like the M Shop concerts, and Grandma Mojo's is like $1. So they're relatively cheap. They're at the MU generally, and it's just fun events for people to come do. You're entitled to come to it since you're an Iowa State student, if you're an Iowa State student. And there's just a wide variety. You get to see celebrities from time to time during After Darks. It's just a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good people in the group, and yeah.
So when did you get involved, and what has your involvement been, and what will your involvement be?
I got started like almost exactly a year ago when I heard that Brian Baumgartner, Kevin from The Office, was going to be here for After Dark, and I just was walking around Club Fest, and I ran into this guy, Sam Petrie, and he said, hey, you get to, if you help out, you get to meet him. I was like, okay. So I showed up. It was pretty fun. I got to work the door, and then I just kept coming to him and going to him, and now I'm an exec member, so I'll be in charge of, like I said, open mic night and Grandma Mojo's and comedy night and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And so you do all of the M Shop. Don't they also have like relatively famous people going to the M Shop to do the concerts? Like, haven't you guys had some in history, just insane people, but like before they get famous, go to the IS? Like who again?
Well, I don't remember exactly for the like music concerts. I feel like I remember 21 Pilots being on the list. And there's like the M Shop anti-curse is that like within a month after us booking you here, we couldn't afford you because they just blow up instantly. Like in terms of comedians, they had Chelsea Peretti and Hannibal Buress and Eric Andre. They were all
I could not
Yeah,
imagine
I know.
having Eric Andre
On
at
campus.
on ISU campus. He must have been a menace. Like, I wonder if he did anything like on campus other than doing stand up. Like, I could just
I
imagine.
I doubt he did. I bet it's one of those things where he's like, I'm in Iowa, man. I
Yeah,
I got my paycheck. I don't want to be here any longer.
yeah, yeah. I don't think Iowa's prank capital of the
No.
of the United
Though,
States by any means.
like, this was before I was here. All of these were before I was here, just even on campus or anything. And I heard about one of these for an After Dark. They had David Dobrik one year, and he gave away $10,000 on stage. And everybody in sub was like totally unaware of it, that it was going to happen. And
What is the legality of giving
I
away
don't think much.
money? Like, I guess they can try to stop me, but the 10K has already left my hands.
Yeah,
I just couldn't imagine. So
I don't know.
did you meet Kevin from The Office?
Yeah.
Other than that picture, because I don't know
Oh,
if I know that interaction other than the picture that you took.
I had gotten a meat sweatshirt at a White Elephant gift exchange like a month before, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna meet him in. He's
Yeah.
gonna like that. And so I went. Basically I just guarded the door during his performance, which was just a sit down talk. Which
Were
is,
you wearing the meat sweatshirt while you guarded the door?
Yeah. People liked it. Yeah.
I really wish that there's a picture. It's like, it's so, like, I'm colorblind, but it is so blatantly red and so blatantly meat-like. It is unmissable to a human eye.
Actually, a
from
lot
like,
of people think it's just red tie dye.
no,
They're
no
like, oh,
way.
that's a cool tie dye shirt. And I'm like, this is a steak.
Yeah.
They go, what? Oh.
And it's not one of those crappy Walmart where you can see like the JPEG square on the shirt of meat. The whole sweatshirt
Yeah.
is layered
It's like the sublimation,
pieces of meat.
sublimation printing or something like that. But
It
yeah.
like blends to the side. Like the whole sweatshirt is raw cow red.
Yeah.
Like it is with
And the
the
inside
white.
is pure white.
The angelic.
Absolutely snow. This background white.
Dude, I don't know. The meat sweatshirt is so funny. But did he say anything about the sweatshirt?
No.
Wow. Wait. So he's probably so used to
Yeah.
stuff
Just
like
people
that.
trying to pull weird stuff to get his attention. Yeah.
Did he? Don't you have a signed office? Like
Yeah,
CD?
I do. I try not to advertise that very
Because
much.
were you not supposed to
I
get it
was
signed?
not supposed to do
Oh.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
once this blows up, we can take this episode down and then.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
when,
Yeah, that-
when the ISUPD come and take your
Yeah,
signed
no, that was
Kevin.
highly frowned upon that I did that.
Was it why?
And just because, if he's giving somebody a signature, he's gonna have to give everybody a signature, and so.
Oh no, dude, that's just a payment for working at Sub.
No,
know what I mean?
no, it's not. Trust me, it is not. Don't expect that.
Oh yeah, since you're gonna be one of the coordinators.
Yeah, no,
at some
don't-
point,
don't do that.
Don't say that.
Don't do that.
For all the Sub people coming around.
Straight up, cut that out.
Yeah, you guys.
There's a reason I danced around that part of the story.
As a PSA, do not ask to get your stuff signed. I can't imagine the repercussions are that horrible for. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put.
Quit
Yeah.
entitling people to do that.
I don't want to put the metaphorical gun to your head on this one, but yeah. Okay, so then you're going to be doing. Have you met some of the mojos? Like, do you know? Are you in that?
I've been
circle?
to enough mojos, but I wouldn't say like I know them. I can tell you some of their names, but not really. It seems like I always figure out their names and then they are done.
Okay, so you know all the alumni.
I know the alumni better than the current people, but I recognize them if I'm running into them, like Mojo.
As an improver yourself, are they pretty solid?
They are, yeah. It's different than like what we did in high school because we're not competing. They're just doing whose line is it anyway.
Yeah,
And
which I think is better.
Yeah.
Than,
Oh yeah.
than
I mean, why
anything
would
we
you
did.
want to watch that unless you're like their parents or something?
Yeah.
No.
And so, I mean, well, I've been trying to get one of them on to the show.
Okay.
But I don't know which one I should go for. And I
I can
emailed
help
the
with that
president.
within like 2 weeks.
Please do.
Because the first show is January 25th, which is a week from today's filming. So
So, hey guys, $1.
$1 at the door. Doors open 7:30. Shows at 8. There's a little intermission in the middle, so expect it. Yeah, we don't know how long they run sometimes, but
Are,
the MU closes at 10.
are they pretty crowded when they have shows?
We generally put out like 120ish chairs, and they're generally pretty well filled.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so I would actually be catching a pretty big fish if I were to get one of the Grim Mojos. And being an improver, I definitely want to talk about what that process is because I don't know.
Who did you email, the Improv Comedy Club or Grandma Mojos himself? Because that's two different things.
Grandma Mojos.
Okay.
Maybe both. Well, because I know I talked to them at a booth and they gave me a email.
Okay.
And then I emailed that one.
Okay. Because there was a couple of them in attendance for your terrible comedy show. They were enjoying it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to get their
Yeah.
It would be an honor to get their to get their feedback on what their experience was like.
Yeah.
What their experience was like during that. No, I'm actually really excited to hear more about what you end up doing with Sub.
Mm-hmm.
But the real topic of interest today is you're my movie guy, and you've always been my movie guy.
You.
But I don't think that we've ever done any sort of like ranking. I don't even think I know what your top 5 movies are of like all time. And I'm very curious to see what your top 5, but more controversially, what your bottom 5 are. But to kind of break the ice on this, I'm going to ask, like, what is your hottest movie take right now?
It's my hottest movie take?
Yeah, like, what's the thing that you find yourself just talking about when it comes to movies? Like, complaining about or, like, saying is a great movie or, like, what's that thing that just upsets you?
I don't know. My takes are kind of basic right now.
They're
say not, like, the most hot takes. That's going to take me a minute.
Here, I'll say mine first, and then we'll see if
drum
it sparks.
up.
Yeah. The new Batman movie was a 6 out of 10 at best. And I think I've kind of talked to you about this, where there's this new trend of like, especially on TikTok. I think my TikTok just gets flooded with this stuff where they just idolize any movie where the main character is like a Sigma. Like,
yeah, you said that.
Yeah, and Batman I think is the most egregious example of this, to where everyone says this is the best superhero movie of all time.
Yeah.
They say this is the best superhero movie of the last year, which is also just not true.
No.
I don't know about that. That might be true.
Actually, at this point in the last year, that
might
Thor, Doctor Strange,
Black Adam,
Morbius, and Black Panther.
Black Panther was definitely better than Batman.
Okay.
Black Panther was definitely better than Batman. And I think Adam put it in a really good way. This is my Adam plug to see if he's this far in the video. I think Adam put it in a good way. He said, just because it's a movie about Batman doesn't mean that it's good.
That's been proven like 75% of the times they've made Batman movies.
I'd say everything before the Dark Knight trilogy, everything, including the Dark Knight trilogy and before that, is like really good Batman.
Bat Nipple?
What is that?
It's the George Clooney Batman, the Batman and Robin that's like got Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze in it. And
weren't those pretty good for the time?
No, that one was universally hated.
Oh, okay. Well then,
but the 2 Michael Keaton ones are pretty well liked and still are. And that was Val Kilmer in between that. That was Batman Forever, and that one's like moderately okay received. Yeah, and then Batman and Robin, which is George Clooney with Robin. And I think Batgirl's in that one.
Do you say bat nipple because of the suits?
That's what it's called. That's what that suit is called, the bat nipple.
Bat nipple.
Because they put pecs on it, and it looks awful.
Was that like fan named, or is there any piece of official?
Yeah.
Okay,
100% fan named, but I think DC might be going with it.
Yeah. Oh, the Lego Batman movie was terrific.
Also. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that movie is surprisingly good. But yeah, you think about that, about what your hot take is. Do you have anything brewing right now?
I think Idris Elba is mid.
Idris Elba, what is she in?
It's a guy.
What is he in?
That's the main guy in Suicide Squad, and he was in that Beast movie.
Oh yeah, he always plays like.
He was Heimdall.
Yeah. I
I don't think he's that great.
Who is saying that he's great?
A lot of people.
Wow.
People think he's like one of the greatest actors ever, like right now.
What has he been in that has allowed him to
I don't know.
achieve that?
I have no idea.
Because I would never say that he's a bad actor.
No,
because,
he's just fine.
Yeah, because
But like you got
he's
people
not
like
in anything.
trying to tap him for James Bond. No.
Oh yeah, I have heard of that. I have heard of that.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every single fan cast that I have seen for James Bond to replace Daniel Craig is terrible.
What are some of the other ones?
Tom Holland.
I've heard that one
Henry
too.
Cavill. Henry Cavill is the best out of all of them, but he's too big.
That's what I was thinking. He's
way too big.
jacked to be like a spy.
I think I've seen Tom Hardy. No.
No. Well, no. No.
Because if you think about it, like, you need a relatively unknown person to play those. None of those guys are that. I mean, Sean Connery was known, but that was the first time they did it. George Lazenby was not even an actor. He was like a male model, and he only did one movie. That's why.
And that's why.
Yeah. Roger Moore was decently well known because of The Saint and Maverick. And if my dad's watching this episode, he's really proud of me right now.
For being able to list all James
these
Bond.
old TV show stuff. Yeah, so he was like okay, well known, but still, that was still early in those, so it didn't matter then. And Timothy Dalton was pretty much nobody, and Pierce Brosnan had Remington Steele, and that was about it, I think. And then Daniel Craig was a nobody before James Bond.
Yeah, that's the only role, and maybe like the new Knives Out.
He has Layer Cake, and I think he was in like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or something like that. But
Okay.
I've never seen those.
Yeah, so
I just know he's
so
in
then
them.
he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've seen the Tom Holland one. I've seen some meme ones like Mark Wahlberg. That would be so funny.
That'd be awesome.
I'm a huge fan. I think my other hot take is I'm a huge fan of Mark Wahlberg in movies. Yeah. I would never dare say that he's a good actor. I would say that he's fantastic at playing himself. And every movie that he's in, I'm glad Mark Wahlberg is playing Mark Wahlberg in the movie.
Okay.
Like I feel like he's never acted. He's just been like Mark Wahlberg is now in Transformers. Mark Wahlberg in Ted. It's just him. There's no difference between what he does. But like him in Uncharted was fantastic.
Yeah, I liked that
because he's just Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people who pooped on that movie just didn't like that it wasn't the exact same thing as the video game. And the video game's great. And it's an awesome story, but
Tom Holland was fine in that. I would have preferred if they actually did make it a lot earlier and Nathan Fillion could play him. Because like he wanted to do that, and there's some test footage, and he just looks right. And I like Nathan Fillion. I want him to have stuff to do.
Yeah.
He's like my Brendan Fraser.
After Firefly.
Yeah. What has he been? He's on The Rookie, which that's actually a pretty good show. It's an ABC network show.
You're missing me on that one, I guess. But speaking of Brendan Fraser, we didn't get to talk about The Whale.
I have not seen it.
Which I let me just like get on my soapbox about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic.
Okay.
Like really good. Exactly as you'd expect. Like Oscar-worthy acting performances. The cinematography also is awesome.
Is the cinematography actually awesome, or are you just somebody from the internet who throws around the word cinematography when you like something?
No, it's just because the whole movie takes place in one room, like in one house.
Bottle movie?
Yeah, like the whole thing just takes place in one set, and they somehow made the whole set like interesting and intricate, and that was because they do these long shots, this long acting performances, these movement shots instead of cuts, where they do stuff like these center frame, like these out of focus things where one character's talking and then the other character's in the background the whole time, and then it's just like it's more artsy than some of the other movies, and they didn't need to do that at all. They could have just like said, here's guys acting and crying, and that's the whole movie, but they just added that stuff in there. What's really frustrating about that, though, is that like a lot of the critics are pooping on it.
They are?
Yes, because they're saying that it's fat phobic, which I won't get into like the detail of that, but I will say, if you watch the movie
with that bias,
with that bias, without that bias, you would definitely not feel that way.
Okay.
Like they were definitely watching it with the intention like this is making fun of fat people, but in actuality, the message is it's the exact opposite of that. It's saying that like it is unhealthy, but you can be like beautiful on the inside, while also saying this is unhealthy and you should not be this way, but also saying you are still a person.
Doesn't say anything about
Yeah, like you should still be loved. It's awesome movie, awesome message. I cried at the end.
Really?
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Interstellar in that like it exists to be like almost like a psychological drama that makes you cry that has a beautiful message. It reminds me a lot of that. But yeah, anyway, The Whale was great. I suggest you watch it. How you feeling about Marvel?
I mean, if I had to pick what I thought the best thing of, I guess I keep forgetting about Moon Knight. Moon Knight was good. I liked Moon Knight. But like other than that, if I'm not counting Moon Knight, the best Marvel thing from last year would have been like Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, which is not not the
I did
best.
not like Doctor Strange. I actually liked Thor kind of fine, but the more times I watch it, it's bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it the first night I saw it, but
Yeah. Again, I think the reason why I wanted to talk about movies so much is because TikTok is just like pissing me off.
Yeah.
Like I see the most L lists of all time. Like
I'm feeling more hopeful with Phase 5 happening. Now that
what are you excited for?
I'm excited for Ant-Man,
Okay.
but it's not going to be an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ant-Man gets killed movie, and it's going to be
Is
not
that the
near as fun.
prevailing theory? Because I've heard
so.
that, and
It sure looks like it, but also the trailer alludes to that too much for it to be true.
that's what I was thinking, and I don't think it's in his character quite yet to just die.
No.
You know, I just
No.
It seems unlikely that.
I hope they don't character assassinate his daughter in it, Cassie.
What is that? What is character? I haven't heard that term.
It's just like in order to make a story, you just like totally flip.
Oh,
like,
someone's like
total personality
moral
just to cause a
problems.
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the trailer, she's getting like taken out of. She's like bailing her out of jail or something like that. I mean, I guess we haven't seen her for 5 years. She was a little kid, but also that never made sense. They were gone for 5 years. She was like 6 years old.
Yeah. Now she looks like
she's over
18.
Yeah, she's graduated high school. That does
math is not adding up. Yeah. I really hope, because with the trailer on that, they did the same thing that like No Way Home did, to where you saw the trailer and you're like, this concept for a movie looks so dumb. Like, or the reason why they're in this predicament looks so stupid, but then they make it better in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that that's the case, because
Yeah.
if the real plot line is, without your permission, I made a beacon. That's so. I refuse to enjoy the movie if that's if like that's what the thing is about.
What are your thoughts on Guardians 3 coming up?
I
thought about it much, have you?
well, I have a little. I am not as excited as everyone else is.
Okay.
I think only because Guardians 1 and 2 were really good because they were fresh and we hadn't really had something that was so colorful, so music oriented, so funny.
That's one of the things I'm just most excited about too. Is just I want to know what the next soundtrack is.
Yeah, that's that's what I was thinking. I have some predictions that I want to make on air so that I look smart if we get them.
There's a lot of music.
I know.
So like,
I guess these are more just like songs that I hope are in there.
The thing is too that he's been back to Earth now, and they go back to Earth in Guardians. So it's not restricted to strictly 80s music.
I don't know.
Now.
What if like Cardi B starts playing on his?
Done.
Well, I'm not as excited about it only because Thor: Love and Thunder was music oriented, colorful, and mainly funny, and I did not like it.
It's Taika though.
I'm scared that I'm just scared.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything. Yeah. You should be scared now. Don't expect to like it because that will ruin it.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
I want to go see 80 for Brady with you.
80 for Brady. What is that?
There is this terrible looking movie with like Jane Fonda and just like a bunch of like former like famous ladies. I guess they're still famous, but they're like
Oh,
old now.
then they go
And
to the
go to the
football
Super
game?
Bowl.
They literally showed the entire movie in that
Yeah.
trailer. That trailer is actually like 5 minutes long.
I know. I just want to see it because of Gronk.
Yeah.
Because Gronk is a moron.
Gronk.
Gronkowski.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've never heard him. Gronk is such a Crude's name. I think it's
Yeah.
literally the character, one of the characters in Crude's. No, I would love to see that.
I want to waste money to see that.
Yeah, which for you I know is a huge commitment.
I know.
But
It is.
no, I saw that and I was like, I'm literally watching the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because there was trailers for the whale. All of the trailers looked really bad during the whale.
Did you get the trailer for Cocaine Bear for that one?
No, not for that
Okay,
one.
I'm excited
That
about
one
that.
looks great too.
Yeah.
Did that truly like stem from a Reddit post? Because I'd heard that story before.
It's a real story.
Yeah, that I just saw from like iFunny. Is
It
that
probably gained a lot of traction from
like
being on
the
Reddit, and then
internet
it just
and-
made it to like respectable news outlets.
I'm
Which
really
I don't, you know.
I'm excited. I'm excited too. Who does that? Who's doing that?
I think it's a Lionsgate movie or something.
Okay.
I don't
Interesting.
know any names in it or
Like
anything.
yeah. Well, I was just hoping because
I think it has a decent studio backing.
yeah. Oh no, it looks good. And
Yeah.
I thought I saw some like a couple people that I recognized. Somebody made me laugh when I saw them. I can't remember who it was though.
Oh, Ray Liotta's in it, and he's dead now. Like, this will be his final movie.
What an homage.
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine
I mean,
Bear.
rest in peace. But
Yeah.
I hope that movie's great for
Yeah.
like his sake.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I hope so too because for some reason I thought that it was under the same people who did like Bullet Train and Violent Night because it smells the same.
It does. It might be.
I don't know. I hope so because I really loved Bullet Train. You told me you watched it again and you weren't as big of a fan of it. What turned you off from that? Do you know?
I don't know, all the flashbacks were, with knowing the setups to stuff, you didn't get as much out of them. They were still kind of funny. I watched it with my parents, and it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's dirty, I don't want to watch this with my parents. It was just like they weren't the target audience.
Oh yeah, like an age gap would kind of make it.
It just they didn't super enjoy it. They were like, oh, it was okay. And then that made me think about it more. And then I think that it was just
like
watching with the
targeting you specifically, and that's why it was so enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, like kind of realizing that it's not made for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Still loved it though.
Yeah.
So, I think that's just because I love Deadpool and I love stories that are super simple.
Mhm.
Like here's one person does this thing and that's the whole movie, and they somehow make
The
me
movie is
enjoy
not
it.
that simple.
Well, like the main
Okay.
concept is dude doesn't want to kill people. Simple job.
Has to kill people.
Has to
Yeah.
kill people.
Yeah.
Not simple job. Like
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
the run of the movie, and the fact that they made that plot all on one train interesting for more than 2 hours is awesome for
Yeah.
them. Awesome for
That's
them.
fair.
How'd you feel about Violent Night then?
I liked it a lot. I was not liking it at the beginning of it. And then every time that the family was on screen, other than the daughter that was good, they were just so miserable of people, which I know that's what they were supposed to be. But I wanted them all to get just murdered. They were so terrible. And then they, at the halfway point, they kind of turn around just so that you don't feel as bad that they live. That was my only gripe with the movie. I got everything I wanted out of Santa. Oh, the only other problem was that, and I get that it's Violent Night, takes place at night. It was just too dark, man.
You couldn't see anything.
I couldn't see anything.
That was yeah. That was
And then
yeah.
there was the SWAT guys with the flashlights on it in a dark room. It just
Getting flashbanged every single
every
time.
single time.
No, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I laughed.
I will watch it again at Christmas.
That's what I was thinking. It was a much better Christmas movie than I was expecting. I was expecting it to just be kind of like funny or like just a fun movie in general, but it had Christmas themes that I'd probably show my kids when they're 14 or 15. You know what I mean? So, because it wasn't that crazy dark or anything. It was just bloody.
Was it? Yeah. Well, The way he exploded at the end and the guy on the spike.
Oh yeah, true. Spoilers, but not that anybody listening when they hear
It's-
Violent Night is gonna
Watch it within the next 11 months.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main meat and potatoes that I wanted to get to here is a game that I was playing with Adam, and I wanted to see what you did with it. So there's this TikTok trend where we both, as if we were drafting for football players in the NFL, we take turns picking, and we'll do Marvel to start.
Okay.
We're gonna pick. We'll do 2 categories: best and worst.
Okay.
Out of the whole lineup,
Mhm.
and that's going. We'll just include anything that's not mainline, because everything is mainline right now. So like all the Fox, all the Sony, whatever, for best and worst. And then so we'll take turns doing best, and then the goal is to have the best list, despite us taking turns and competing for it.
We're gonna write this down, or is this strictly memory?
This will just be strictly memory.
Okay.
So I'll let you start for best.
Infinity War.
All right. Yeah, Infinity War is a good pick. Yeah, that would have been my second for sure. But I think my first, no matter what, was going to be No Way Home. I think that one is just a fantastic movie.
Okay. This is strictly Marvel. Okay.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is really good. I think after watching that, and Adam kind of made a good point. He hasn't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, you guys are watching through them now, right?
Well, he's seen a lot of them, like pretty much all of them. We're just catching up. He hasn't seen any of the Ant-Mans. He hasn't seen the second. He hasn't seen Far From Home, and he hasn't seen Winter Soldier yet.
So he watched Homecoming and No Way Home, but
No Far From Home. Yeah.
I guess all you have to see is the 5.
The blooper or the
ending, the
mid credit scene. But he has seen all of the action scenes on YouTube from Winter Soldier. So it's like, does he even need to watch the movie anymore?
That's what it is.
Because like the whole thing is just an awesome action movie.
Yeah.
For number 2, I'll go Endgame. I thought that movie was fantastic. So I know that everyone compares it to Infinity War, which is true.
It's a step down, but it's still like the second best Avengers movie, I'd say. Guardians 1.
Okay. That one I think flies under my radar. I'll go Logan.
Oh.
That movie just makes me sad. It's such a good.
If we're doing that, I'll steal Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I would not have. I would not have said that. That was good. That's a good one.
That's not even what I was building up to with my words there.
You started talking and then was hoping it'd be like an awesome take.
Yeah.
No, super good take. I'm glad that movie gets the break. I need to watch it again.
Right before,
You mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. Yeah, you and me watch the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Before the other one comes out. For 4, this might be a personal favorite, but Deadpool. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Jaden kind of haunted me by saying that it reminded him too much of like Family Guy humor in it, and more so that it's mostly just like haha sex joke or haha poop joke.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of too scared to
rewatch it.
Well, I've rewatched it recently, but I'm too scared to like envision it, but with that mindset. And I don't want that movie to be ruined because it's been top 3 movies of all time for me for like a long time. This is your number 5.
Is this number 5? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
This is difficult because I don't want to crap all over the other ones I love too.
Yeah, I know. It's like choosing the top one. You say something horrible like Eternals.
I totally forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
That was not even in the list as I was thinking.
As you were looking back.
I kind of want to get a Fox one in there. I'm going to say Days of Future Past. I like that one.
Wow. Yeah, that one's really good.
It's really good time travel.
Really good, yeah. Yeah, dang. That one and First Class. And Apocalypse is fun. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's fun.
I haven't seen either of those that you just said.
Really?
No.
Wow, we might need to watch those.
We might. I haven't seen most of the X-Men movies.
Dang.
I think I watched 1 through 3 when I was like really little, like consistently. I don't remember.
They're a lot better. They get a little redundant at the last couple one because the plot line is always like bad guy hates mutants, good guy protects mutants.
Peter Dinklage is in both my number 1 and number 5 slot.
Dude, maybe Peter Dinklage is your favorite. Is your favorite actor? I don't know. The X-Men movies were on a good kick. Like it's so cool. I really love the political discussion that they do in the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Like as if we actually had superheroes, what would we do?
That's called The Boys.
And that's why I really like The Boys. That's why I really like Civil War.
Did you see that season 3 is up for best visual effects for like the Emmys because of the season 3 intro, the thing.
Are we serious?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's put it up for best visual effects.
That means that they're not gonna play that in front of a whole at the awards show.
Yeah.
They're just playing that means that the people who have to decide what the best picture is have to watch that scene over and over again. I mean, it's good. It looks.
Excuse me?
It looks, as like realistic, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For those of you that haven't seen it, I will not explain. Just
Don't
watch
look it up either.
Yeah, just watch The Boys. It's a fantastic show. I encourage you to watch it anyway. So for number 5, there's one that I'm thinking of, but I just can't. Oh, Ragnarok.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's good. And I did watch it again, and I think without the perspective of Thor being so horrible as like a character before that, and then watching it and being just so impressed by how funny this movie is.
Thor's part of the reason that Infinity War is my favorite. 'Cause he carries that movie for me, and like everybody else is great. The whole thing is fantastic. I love it.
Infinity War is a perfect movie, just in general. But
and it has no ending. Like,
it's just part 1 of Endgame.
Yeah.
Which also I do think that, to get back on the Endgame thing, I think that it's unfair to compare Endgame and Infinity War because they both do like 2 completely different things.
That's why I didn't like it when we were starting to watch it. Like we saw it opening night. Mm-hmm. We were with Ian Gibbons. And Fat Thor came on, Thor was my favorite character out of the original 6 at that point. And I leaned over to him and I was like, this movie's a joke.
No, dude, yeah.
And then the time travel started. And the first hour is painful the first time you watch it. And that will always have...
Because of like the time travel physics or the time travel...
Just the first hour where everything's sad and depressed. And it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything. And they killed off Thanos early and all that. And, I thought it was going to be a time travel movie. But then I was kind of like, oh, they're just going to move on. Why? They're going to pull something stupid to bring them all back. Which they start realizing they're going to do time travel. Ant-Man shows up. And from then on, I'm pretty much good with it.
When Ant-Man comes back?
Well, he comes back a lot earlier than I'm thinking. But as soon as they actually start doing time travel stuff.
Planning it out?
Yes. As soon as they do that and they figure it out and they go back, I love it.
See, I actually like the beginning section because I feel like it's...
I like it now.
Yeah.
I could not stand it the first time watching it.
Oh, yeah. When you're going to watch a 3-hour movie.
And it starts like that.
And it's like, okay, let's get to the part where I feel good, please. Yeah. But I literally just saw a clip of it today where, like, Tony Stark is, like, super skinny and sickly. And he's, like, crying. He's like, I lost the kid. And it's like, oh, my. Like,
I'm okay with that. But then it jumps to the 5 years later. 5 years later through... starting the time heist is unbearable. Sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you've seen it. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I understand.
I actually think it's better after watching it once.
Yeah.
The first time. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when
it was the most hype thing.
Yeah, the only thing you can think of is how everybody's dead and you want to bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so nice we're in a time though where that's not a spoiler anymore.
I know.
Where I can just say that and like I have no remorse.
The day that Infinity War came out, we went to Adventureland for a band thing, and I was riding the Skyride with Ian Gibbons, who comes up a lot when I talk about Marvel movies, and he had already seen Infinity War, and I was gonna see it the next day, and we were just like crossing people on the sky ride, and I'd just be like, "Hey, Iron Man dies, by the way,"
That's horrible.
and then they would like freak out, and then I'd just laugh. I hated myself.
Dude, why didn't you just admit that on air, dude? It's monstrous.
Yeah.
No, that
Occasionally, if they were like really like mad at me, I'd be like, "Bro, I haven't seen the movie."
well, literally, yeah, that is true. Well, because Jenna and I, we started watching it. We started watching all of the Marvel things. I'm surprised she kicked it through the whole thing because it's a lot of content. But she actually enjoyed it a lot, except for the fact that she slept through the first Avengers, which is it still hurts. We're gonna watch it again, but
Yeah.
movie's fantastic. Anyway, we had all built up to this moment, and then literally like 3 days after our freshman year started, her and I watched it in the Willow projector room, or like the big public.
You're talking Infinity War. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Infinity War.
I remember you telling me this.
And
was
then
gonna
some
happen.
guy walked by and was like, "Everyone dies, by the way," like at the beginning of the movie. And like, thank God Jenna didn't hear it. But it's like, why? Like, why even take the risk to spoil it if someone's in the middle of watching it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we can say it now because like we're talking about it, and I can't confirm that anybody's watching it right now.
Yeah.
And that's gonna spoil it. But the only time you can't say it is when someone's literally watching the movie
Yeah.
right then and there. Even if they
Yeah.
knew, what's the point in saying that?
Yeah. That's
That's why I say like it was purely just malicious.
yeah.
It's purely just evil.
That's what happens with people in Willow.
Yeah, it's just classic Willow residents. Yeah, then now that I don't live there,
Yeah.
I could say.
But now that you're an RA, you shouldn't be dogging any.
No, I can
people at
absolutely
all.
dog. No, I can absolutely dog Willow residents.
Okay.
Willow RAs are good though. Well, but anyway,
Okay.
let's do the same draft, but with the
With the
worst,
worst
with the
of the
worst
Marvel
ones.
stuff?
Yeah, and this one I hope. For me, it's gonna spark conversation because I feel very strongly about why these deserve the spots.
Some
that
of
they
these
do.
that I'm gonna drop, I feel kind of bad because I actually haven't seen one of them that I'm thinking of. I just know that there's a reason I haven't seen it,
Okay.
and you're not gonna come up with it.
Okay. It's probably, is it Hulk?
No.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
Which Hulk are you talking? The 2003 one?
The one, the
The super
MCU
green one? Oh, the Edward Norton one.
Yeah, that one.
I started that one time. That's one of the only MCU movies I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it either. We keep talking about it. We
You
gotta
know why I
watch it.
haven't seen it?
Why?
Because we were sitting down to watch it one night. Because like early COVID at home, my mom and I were watching through the MCU like in rapid order.
90% of America
Yeah,
did.
but we did it way too fast because it went way longer than anybody expected. And we sat down to watch it, and I hadn't seen it. And I was like, okay, and I was enjoying it. Like I got like 15 minutes into the movie, maybe longer than that, and then the DVD copy I had of it was scratched because I bought it used, and it was unwatchable.
This is what your frugalness will get you, Alex.
Yeah, I have a new
Bad
copy,
Hulk
and it's fine.
CDs.
I wasn't even planning on getting that. There was somebody on Facebook Marketplace in town that had like, I got it and Civil War on Blu-ray because I needed that at the time. Yeah.
Oh, it as in Hulk. For some reason, I was thinking of Pennywise. Like.
Oh yeah, no.
That movie.
Yeah, it as in Hulk.
Okay, so I'll start. I'll start with the
yeah,
bad
because I
ones.
started the last one.
Yeah. I don't know if this is just frustration from me.
Okay.
Maybe this is projecting, but easily for me the worst is Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, the first one is really good. No, Mom has to be top of the list. I don't. It just hurts me that it's there. It just hurts me. I'm not saying it's worse than some of the other ones, but it makes me angrier than the other ones do.
I'm gonna say this might be cheating. 1970s
Already, what? Howard
TV
the Duck.
movie, Doctor Strange movie.
We'll say that doesn't count because
Okay.
I've absolutely not seen that.
Okay. The mom from Arrested Development is in it, and she's a bad woman in it. Yeah.
What character is she?
She's not a character that's translated to MCU. Like they basically just took the character of Doctor Strange and Wong, and like his costume, and like put him in a Mystic movie.
I kind of want to watch that now.
I tried to last year. I could not watch it.
It's like that unwatchable.
It was bad. The copy I found was really bad. So
Is it time that makes it that bad, or is it like? Like
Well,
when it was
it
made,
was a
or
TV budget too, so it was
oh, so it's just
so it's real bad.
so,
Okay, I'll go with Elektra.
oh yeah. Well then, if we're going there, probably Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
That's canon to what I just said. Yeah. Um, I'll take Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
I
one
saw
was
that one in the
bad.
theater.
Yeah, I did too. I did
Yeah.
too. I watched that again with Jenna, and I think that's when like when I say that it gets redundant, that's where it really, really,
That was
really
just
is
X-Men 3
redundant.
again, right?
The exact same. Well,
It was the same story adapted, but
yeah.
it was done like better, wasn't it? And it was still
Uh,
bad.
what do you mean done better? As in like the storyline was better?
Like they adapted it better to.
Oh, the comics?
Yeah.
No, but the original one is awesome.
Oh, it
And
is.
people don't like it. I thought it was pretty good.
Hmm.
Maybe not awesome might be an over exaggeration, but it's
Okay.
better, much better than Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
Like as a movie.
Okay.
Like significantly better.
Good.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix is pretty bad. Let's go with. I'll take. I'll take Thor: Dark World for 500. That one's
Alex, yeah.
that one's pretty
Um,
bad. Mostly it's that it's just boring. I think
Yeah.
it's. I don't know.
I'll
if
take
it's-
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel is pretty bad. I do think.
It's one of them that I can stand to watch though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just boring.
Samuel L.
think is-
Jackson kind of carries it.
Yeah, I think that one's issue is that it's just boring, and it's
Mhm.
the same thing with like the Black Panther, the first Black Panther. I wasn't a huge fan only because Killmonger was a much better character than Black Panther was in that movie.
That's why I haven't ever finished Black Panther.
Because of that.
I'd like, well, maybe not because of that, but Black Panther I like in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame, but he was just super lame and overshadowed by everybody in his own movie.
Yeah,
And that's why
yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just sucks that I think it was just bad storyline writing when they put him in Civil War as like his first appearance, and he's like kind of cool and mysterious.
It was
and
awesome.
Yeah, he's not a main character. It's kind of a weird. He's too important of a character to, in my opinion, to be thrown in like that. But then when he has his own standalone movie, which is after that, you already kind of have this hill to climb. He should be the coolest part of that movie and the best, most noble part of that movie.
Yeah.
And I just didn't really feel that much
No.
in it. On top of, I don't think that his character was very interesting in that movie either. I thought he was interesting, and his powers are super awesome. Like
Yeah.
his moveset is probably one of the coolest. Period.
When he's doing stuff and he turns all purpley.
Yeah, yeah, and just
Yeah.
the way he moves, and he's a fighter but also has tech. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love the way that he is. But as far as like his character in Black Panther, I just was not that interested. You need to watch the second one. By the way,
It's going to be on Disney Plus pretty soon. So.
yeah, because I want to talk to you about that one too. Because
Okay.
I really like that movie.
And it's going to be at Cyclone Cinema, Thursdays through Sundays in Carver 101.
Can we watch Puss in Boots together
It'll be there.
at
Yeah.
Cyclone Cinema?
Yeah.
Because
I have heard good things.
it's getting like really good claims.
Speaking of good claims, we'll get to this. Have you watched or attempted Last of Us yet?
The movie?
No, the show that just started.
Okay. Is it good? Is that what you're saying?
I liked it.
You finished it?
Well, there's one episode a week.
Oh, okay. So
And it
you're
just
like
came
caught
out.
up.
There's been one episode,
Oh, okay.
and it was an hour and 30 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know that people are upset with the way Ellie looks.
She's an actress.
Yeah, but again, I think that that's just like people
Yeah.
doing the same thing like they did with Uncharted, to where it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't really matter.
That didn't matter. She was fine. I haven't played the game, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't
So you
have
have
any reference.
even
I know
particularly unbiased.
from talking to people that are big fans. Sam Pogue. He said that he took issue with there's this part where they're walking through a tunnel and there's this like fungi creature that's dead that's like bonded to the wall. And they were walking through it and it was cool and all, but they weren't wearing like masks of like breathing their masks to filter anything.
So they could have just gotten
Yeah.
whatever the virus is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know enough about.
It's like a fungus or something that like. Yeah, I don't know. You'll just have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's on HBO though, so that's
I think
not
I
the
have.
easiest thing to.
I think I have HBO so that Jenna and I can watch Vampire Diaries.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's my payment. It's my toll so that she can watch Marvel movies with me.
You should watch Ghost. It's a British show.
Why?
It's just good.
Okay, when did it come out?
They're on. I think they're about to make a 5th season of it, so it's
Oh, it's like ongoing.
like 5 or 6 years old.
Oh.
And there's an American version that's
Called Supernatural.
no, it's called Ghost. It's just like the Office adaptation.
As in like
of,
British.
it's the exact same show.
Yeah.
Only, in this case, the Brits did it better, and the American one's fine.
Okay.
It's quite likable. This like lady and her husband are like down on their luck, and then her relative dies. It's like very distant to her, but had no kids, so she like inherits this mansion, and they're like renovating it, and they think, oh, we can turn this into like a bed and breakfast, and we can make some money here. And all the ghosts are like, oh no, we don't want them to have a hotel here. We just want to chill. And they're all like quirky characters and stuff.
Is it like a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Oh, okay.
And
For
so-
some reason, I was thinking like this is like a
No, this is not
more
dramatic
serious.
at all. So basically, they like try to do something. They like try to haunt the place for an episode to like make them scared and not want to open a bed and breakfast. But they actually like do something that scares. Or in the American one, I think they scare the lady and she falls down the stairs and like hits her head. In the American one, there's one ghost that has the ability to like actually touch things, but it like really hurts. So he like always like grabs his hand and like pushes things, and he like pushes her out a window accidentally while they're trying to scare her.
It just kills her.
And so basically in both versions, she like basically dies, but they bring her back, and since she was so close to death, she can see the ghosts now. And then comedy.
It sounds
it's fun.
interesting.
It's really fun.
Did I talk to you about Barry?
Yeah, you've talked to me a little bit about
Okay.
Barry.
Yeah. Watch that also.
Okay.
But
It's on HBO, so I can watch that.
Yeah. The second
it's on
Barry
HBO.
reference. I pirated it on like the best
No.
website you could buy. You did what?
No.
No way.
I would never do something like that. Did
Okay.
you do that here at Iowa State?
No, it was somewhere else.
I would hope
It was-
not, because
yeah.
as a member of the Iowa State Department of Residence IT Service, I know how to completely cut you off of internet.
yeah. You revoke my internet purposes because
do
piracy.
it. I could
those
do it.
things. Yeah, well, allegedly I pirated Barry. So
Okay, but you didn't actually, so it's
honestly, if you guys took my internet, it'd be worth it. Having watched that show, it was pretty good. Okay, so
fine. So we were at our
so
number 2 picks. Of the
I had said
worst draft.
I think I had said 3, and I think you had said 3. So this is my number 4.
Well, let's go over it again.
So
You said
I said Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, Mom.
I
I said
Daredevil,
Elektra.
Then
You
I said Daredevil.
And then I said
You said it was another one that was kind of Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
You
Dark
said
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix.
You said Thor, Dark World. I
Yep.
said Captain Marvel. Then we went on to
Talk
Black
about
Panther,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
this
yeah,
and this
yeah.
and- okay,
So,
so yeah, we've each done 3.
I'll say Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Okay, Eternals.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
have to have something. I'm running out of things that
Running
I
out
can
of-
like confidently say that I don't like
That you don't
because I
like.
haven't seen that many of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like movies. If it were shows, it'd be much easier. If it were shows, Loki would be my number 2, like easily. Again, I think it's a more
it was
frustration
so much
thing.
better than like She-Hulk. She-Hulk bad.
I think with Loki, they had a
She-Hulk had
lot more
moments.
potential.
Okay, yeah, but
But
that was one of the shows that got COVID screwed up, and it's the only reason it's getting a season 2 is because season 2 is going to be what should have been the second half of that show.
okay, I'm really excited to see what that
If that,
if
yeah.
that helps. I'd say She-Hulk was worse than Loki, but not by much, in my opinion. But She-Hulk was pretty bad. I actually did laugh.
I still think my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show is Hawkeye.
Really, I love Moon Knight.
Well, yeah, Moon Knight was good.
Yeah. at first I would put Moon Knight in top 10 shows of all time for me. Like,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why I liked it so much.
It was good, but it wasn't that good.
I don't know. I think if they had a higher budget, like to make the CGI not
that
look
was bad.
awful, then it would have been I think got a higher approval from people. But as far as like the writing goes, I think it's
it was a great
storyline.
It was cool.
Easily the best storyline that Marvel has put in the show so far.
Yeah.
And the acting was really good, especially Oscar Isaac did a wonderful job. What's Her Nuts did a pretty good job too. His girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
I
don't even remember her character's name.
And
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke did a phenomenal, and his lines were so metal too. Like they were just like really good, like super villain lines. Where I was like, ooh, well, nice. These are good.
Was that so? What's your number 5 then?
Number 5 would be, if it had to be a movie, Thor: Love and Thunder was my 4th one, right? Yeah. And then my 5th one would be, I'm trying to think of bad ones. Yeah, because you took Eternals.
I did take Eternals.
I'm not going to say Black Widow. I think I liked... Iron Man 3.
I like Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it's just...
There's just something about it I like.
There are some really awesome scenes,
but
it's one of the only ones that I feel like... other than the 4 movies that were higher on the list. Yeah. But it's one of the ones that, like, just... It's hard for me to drag through and watch.
I'm impressed you didn't say X-Men Origins Wolverine ever.
You
that
know,
one gets drugged. I like it.
Yeah, I don't
like
think it was
it.
that horrible. Honestly, maybe we're totally soiling our opinion on movies by saying that.
We weren't going into it expecting it to be good, like most people were.
Yeah,
and that's why they hate it. I went into it knowing that I was gonna hate the Deadpool interpretation, and
I didn't know it was still Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Ah.
I had no idea. And so so I saw him at the beginning, and they didn't really say that he was Deadpool until like a little bit later, and they called him Wayne or
Wade.
Wade, yeah. So they called him by his name, and I recognized that, but like before then I just thought, it's funny that Ryan Reynolds is in this movie as like a throwaway character, and it's like, wait, no. He's actually Deadpool. That's a cute cameo. And then he literally becomes Deadpool.
Yeah.
And like is the villain. And I was like, that is insane. Yeah. So huge shock there. I thought the movie was just weird. It was the same thing with the Wolverine. I
haven't seen that one.
The Silver Samurai one. That one was also just like weird.
That one, I like going to consignment shops and stuff, and that's where I like pick up a lot of these. And I cannot find that one. I think
just
I have
anywhere?
It never anywhere. I don't know why.
It's a rare collector's
Or if I find
item.
it's like $15. And it's like I'm not paying.
You're paying $15.
I'm not paying $15 for the Wolverine.
the cult classic Wolverine.
Yeah.
No, it was the same. It's the reason why I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier more than I should have, because I really like it when they do. That's why I like Civil War a lot too. When they do kind of like politics in these movies, and they're not like shoving it down your throat, and they're literally just saying like, "Hey, here are like the issues with these people existing." And that's why I liked the X-Men movies also, is because like the politics is actually pretty interesting. But like, what would you do? And I think the X-Men did a good job. But then when they just have the Wolverine movies, it lacks that, and then it's just kind of like.
Yeah.
Why am I watching Wolverine, like, fall in love with a random Japanese lady? But no, those are good. I can't believe you expect me to say something about the Wolverine movie. I watched those with Jenna as well, and I had seen it for the first time, so it was a pretty cool experience. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what are the other stuff coming out? Because I'm excited for the new Daredevil show.
Yeah, I am too.
You still need to watch the show, so I don't even want to hear about it.
I know.
If we were doing shows in our top 5, I would have put Daredevil
up there,
like as probably 3 or 4.
Honestly, the shows wouldn't have made it onto my list in the top 5. I was pretty happy with my top 5, even though I can't remember it right now. But
you know that you hit what you wanted to do.
Yeah, there was like only one thing that you said that I would have wanted.
Is that Far From Home? Or No Way Home? No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, that and Ragnarok, but I had the chance. You put that
Yeah.
at 5.
Yeah.
I just forgot about
And
it.
if you forget about it, then it probably doesn't deserve to be.
Yeah. I
To be
think
on
part
your
of it
top
is
five.
that when I watch Infinity War, I watch Ragnarok straight into Infinity War most of the time. I see those as like,
As like part 1, 2, and 3.
yeah,
Yeah, and then the end credit. You don't even need to watch the end credit scene of Ant-Man. Of Ant-Man and the Wasp, sorry.
I do occasionally. I have taken the disc out and put it in,
Fast
watched
forwarded
to
all
that
the way.
scene, taken it back out, put Endgame in, watched.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's like the canonical order
Yeah.
of watching things. I made sure that
I
there
actually also put in the Captain Marvel disc
was to
after
watch.
that to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, you really
One
took.
time I've even like, I think I watched the Ant-Man scene, then put in Endgame, watched Hawkeye's family get dusted, took it back out, watched the Captain Marvel scene, and then put Endgame back in.
the whole
Yeah.
the whole pie. Well, I made sure that when Jen and I were watching it after Infinity War, there was a sizable break, and then we watched Ant-Man and the Wasp just to show her a little bit of what we felt. having to
Yeah,
wait.
not even close.
Yeah, having to wait a year.
Wait, 364 days.
Oh, dang! I can't believe a studio made us do that.
No.
I can't believe we're such sheep that
Can you
we're able to
imagine
be just.
if the timetable had been shifted 1 year?
And for what?
If Infinity War came out in the place of Endgame, and then Endgame was supposed to come out in April of 2020.
Oh, during like COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it was like July of 21 before we got another movie after Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
People would have lost their minds.
Yeah, we had to wait like 2 years.
Yeah.
And
Because of the like gap that Marvel had to take. Like this is the year that Endgame takes place.
I've actually been hearing about that where people were talking. Yeah, because
Yeah.
2018 and 2025 it was 5 years, right?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I feel old.
Time, dude. Speaking of which, we're running on a bit past an hour, so.
Oh man, we
we'll
don't
probably,
even get to do the draft of just general movies.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do.
Oh,
that
I guess we'll do that in part 2.
in part 2 with Alex.
Oh.
With Alex Brown.
Oh.
And we gotta talk about some shows too, because I want to do a draft of those too, because I've been watching a lot of shows with aforementioned Adam Frazier, so
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
some opinions.
I've made you watch some things too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
That would be making my like top 5 list, I think.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm a simp for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess stay tuned. Here, part 2 when we talk about the other lists. Are there any plugins you want to do?
I guess I already kind of subscribe to youtube.com/randomalex_guy. Also, I kind of plugged the sub stuff earlier, but we have an After Dark coming up soon. That'll be January 27th. We have Chris Olsen, and before him we have Brian Imbus, like a hypnotist guy. We've had him before. He's pretty good. And then on February 2nd in the M Shop, we've got Daphnique Springs for Sub Comedy Night. So be there. It's free.
So why not?
Yep.
All right. Well, it was awesome having you, Alex.
Yeah.
As if you haven't been here before.
I know.
Oh,
it's nice when people can actually hear me because I'm not whispering.
Because you're not a million
I
miles
have
away.
actual volume.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
All righty, guys. All right. Thanks for being on, Alex.
Yeah.